Hey guys, Abs here. We've released an update to the PRTrafficBooster, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through the changes. We've made quite a few changes, guys, so I do advise you to watch the video in its entirety if you can. Okay, so I'm going to try and push forward and really get stuck in with the updates so we don't waste any time whatsoever. So the very first thing that I'm going to take you towards or direct you towards is the customize account script, guys. As you can see, we now have a drop down and you can actually choose and check each checkbox that you want to actually customize. So you might want to do the avatar, the title and the theme all in one, so you can check all three now, or you might want to do them all. I felt that it's much easier and much better to actually work this way. If not, then it was very difficult to actually get the various combinations put into a number of options. So that's one area that we've actually changed there, so you can actually work with that very easy. The custom theme section, guys, is when you're actually adding your own theme and letting the software install that theme for you, and just the theme on its own is when the software is going to be choosing a random free theme and installing that for you instead. Okay, let's go over to the settings and go over to edit group. The first thing I'm going to take you towards, guys, is the queue post settings. What we can do now is actually control and manage our queue from within the PRTrafficBooster. So what I'll do, I'll actually go over to Tumblr and I'll show you exactly the changes that I'm talking about. Okay, I think it's in here, settings, and then blog settings. And I'll just show you that so it'll be easier for me to explain. Okay, so here are the settings details just here, guys. Okay, so these are your queue. It says automatically publish a queue post X amount of times a day, and that's this here. So how many posts? Sorry, queue posts how many times. So here you'd be putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. So we said 8 on this one, for example. And it says queue post from time and then queue post 2 times. So this is the same section here between 12 p.m. and 11 p.m. for example. However, our software here works in the 24-hour clock. So for 12 o'clock it would be 00. For 11 p.m. it would be 23. For 11 a.m. it would be 11. So I hope that makes sense to you. If not, let me see if I can get it down on here. Let's just cancel out of here. Okay, so when we're talking, okay, so 1 a.m., which is in the morning. Okay, we start at 00. 00 is basically midnight. Okay, and then you got 01, which is 1 a.m. Then you got 02, which is 2 a.m. 03, and then it goes all the way up to 12 o'clock, which is noontime, and then it goes to 13, and then 14. And what you must realize is the queue time 2 should always be greater than the 2 time from. So you might say, okay, I want to make a post from 9 in the morning, so I'd put in 09 between and say 3 o'clock, so I'd put in 15. So that's going to post from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So all you have to remember is a 24-hour clock there, guys. You don't need the 0.00 at the end of it or anything like that, just the 24-hour digits that go in there. Okay, and obviously here would be 8, 10, 12, 14, or whatever you actually want to do. And then this is where your custom theme goes in. So if you've actually got a theme, you need to have the theme in a text document and then just install that theme in here. As you can see, I'm hovering over that theme and you can actually see the theme in there, all the data that I've got for that theme in there. Okay, so that's another change that we've got there, guys. And if you do want to work with that change, all you have to do is come on here on the drop down and check this checkbox here, queue post settings, and that will go and update your settings for you. Okay, another change is, let me first of all go and get some pictures. I'll go to my PR and we'll go over to the PRTrafficBooster now. So this is the updated version. I'm going to go to advanced settings, guys, and I'm going to go over to image video upload settings. And what you'll see, we've actually got 2 links here now. Link caption tags with image. Basically that allows you to link your description, your title, your tags, and even a click-through link with any image that you want. And this also allows you to import images in mass from a CSV file, noting down the actual image URL, what description you want with that image, and what click-through link you want with that image as well. Now, I think I'm going to have to do a separate video tutorial on the import caption tags with image field. I'll try and go over this. This area very quickly, but I think it does require fairly well, I think it requires a tutorial on its own, but I will take you over to this section here, which is link caption tags with images. So over here, I've got my PRTrafficBooster test images folder, and if we have a look here, guys, this is the test images folder. In total, we've got like 9 images in here. So I'm going to click on link caption tags with images, and when I click on that, guys, as you can see, what the system does now is it actually opens up the software, well, it opens up the folder, and it allows you to actually choose what tags you want to assign with this. And these tags, guys, actually come from, if we have a look at our general post settings, as you can see, I've got a bunch of tags in here, and I've got a bunch of descriptions in here as well. Now, when we go over to here, guys, we can actually choose from them. So for example, I can say, okay, I want this one to have, I can actually hover over this to get a better picture. And normally, obviously, if you're working and you've got a folder with GIFs, then it's not going to show the animation in the preview. But however, I can see from here, this is a funny image. So I can go, yeah, it's a funny image. It's a GIF. Lol as well, laughed out loud. Animation is animated GIF as well, and as you can see that it reflects here as well. So the tags that we've assigned to this is 5, and we can go for a description as well. We can say, okay, I wish, for example, and we can go and choose a URL. I've got no URLs inside of the settings area. Now if I wanted to add a URL, I can just add a URL here. So I can do google.com, for example, and after I've done that, guys, I've just got to click enter. And as soon as I click enter, as you can see, it says up here URLs 1. If I click on that drop down, you can actually see google.com in there as well. You can do exactly the same with a tag as well, guys. If you want to add another tag, like for example test, I'll click test, and as you can see, that's gone up to 6 now. And I will also see the test tag inside of here as well. And there you go, just at the end there. Now, after you've made these changes, okay, before we actually go over to that section, now, one thing that I need to make you aware of is if you're not going to be assigning any tags to, say, for example, this image here, then what the software will do is actually work from this area here. So, for example, you've told it here to assign 10 tags, for example. It'll assign 10 random tags. It'll choose a random description. If you've got any URLs in here, a random URL, or it will actually use your own URL if that's what you've got set up inside of edit account, for example, just there, use own URL. However, let's just go back over here. However, as you can see here, guys, I've got 6 tags that I've actually activated in here. And if I had this general setting on 3, or say 5, then the system will only allow 5 of these tags to actually get posted with this image. So it's very important that you actually keep that in mind. And say, for example, I add this with a description, or I add tags on here. For example, I go girl, cute, glee, whatever, 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 and I don't add any description, then the system will automatically choose a description from the general settings section. And if I do the same and I add a description and I don't add any tags, then the system will automatically grab some tags from the general settings. So you can be very specific if you want to get specific, and if you don't want to be specific, then you don't need to. And again, guys, as you can see, you've got an option for all of these here. Let me just show you what would happen if you got a massive folder. I've actually got a very large folder with loads of images. I'll just navigate over to that as well. Okay, so images 2. I'm going to click on link caption tags with images, and as you can see, guys, we've got the full page all populated. But then what you can do is actually click next, and that will take you to the next images in line, and you can click next and you can keep going and going and going. I've got about 700 images inside of here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that if, for example, I've got a folder with, say, 50 images in there, and I'm telling the software here that I only want to post 10 images, and I assign tags and I assign well, URLs and whatever descriptions to, say, 10 images. But what you need to understand is that the software doesn't post in any particular order. So if you want to assign tags and you want to assign URLs and descriptions to your images, and you want to post a certain amount of images, then it's very important that you have, say for example, you're submitting 10 images, then it's very important that you've got 10 images inside of that folder. If not, then the system's going to be, it might post another image which you haven't assigned any tags or anything to, and it will just use the general settings in the settings section. Okay, so that's another change that we've done here as well, guys. Now, when you're importing caption tags with images. I'll tell you how that works in brief, and I'm hoping to do a new tutorial on this, and it might take until the end of the week till we actually get the import caption tags with image working. But the way it works is you need to import a CSV file, and the CSV file will be in this format here. You will have the full path of the image, and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so for example, if we go test images, we have a look at this image here. If I click on here, okay, so this is the actual folder path here. Okay, so we'll need to have the folder path here. We'll need to have a backslash as well, and then we'll need to have the actual image name, and it's a .gif as well. So we need to have it exactly how it appears. And then what we'll do is we'll have our description. Now our description can be our title, along with the description, and you can have your HTML in here as well, and you can also have the author name in here and the author link in here as well if you wanted to. And then finally we'll have tags. Okay, so it'll be the actual image path, then we'll have the description, then we'll have the tags, and obviously your click-through links and everything will be done from your general post settings. However, we do have a method to actually assign actual links to the actual images as well, which again I'm going to have to take you through on a different video tutorial, because there's a number of ways you can do this. If you've actually got the CSV file that you're importing from a certain folder, and that folder has all the images in there, then there's no need to actually put in the actual full path, but instead just the name of the actual image itself. So I don't want you to get confused, so I'm not going to go into great detail with this at the moment. Okay, and one more change that we've actually made, guys, is obviously as we're working with Tumblr, you know, we've sold quite a few copies of the PRTrafficBooster. There's other tools out there that are using Tumblr as well, and Tumblr are upgrading and updating their systems all the time, that they have made some changes. So some of the changes that they've made, guys, is prompting for a captcha when you actually log in, and they're getting much more stricter with this as well. And first of all, I couldn't even get a captcha prompted, so I wasn't able to get to code around the actual issue. So thanks to a certain number of users, we were able to actually get this coded into the system. And I've noticed that if you keep logging in and out of Tumblr, so if you use the system 3 times in a short period of time, then Tumblr is going to be asking you for a captcha. And if you keep changing your IPs, then Tumblr is going to be asking you for a captcha as well when you're logging in and performing any tasks. So because of this, guys, and because the system works with threads, it's been very, very difficult to actually code in the support of supporting threads and also supporting manual captcha solving. So unfortunately, we've had to take the decision to limit, if you've got manual captcha solving, if you haven't got a captcha account, guys, then you're only going to be able to work with 1 thread at a time when you're performing these tasks. Now, it's very simple to actually work and keep working the way you're working with the PRTrafficBooster now with up to 20 threads, but you will need a captcha service, and obviously we support death by captcha and deCAPTCHA, and it's only on a very few occasions that you actually get prompted to actually enter that captcha. So I'll give you an example. We've actually made and built in a prompt inside the system. So I'm going to check, well, sorry, deselect enable captcha service. I'm going to enable the script, and I'm going to check the account, and I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to click on start, and as you can see straight away we've got a prompt appear saying only 1 thread will be used in manual captcha solving mode, and are you sure you want to continue? So I'm going to click on no, and if I enable captcha service and click on start, then that's going to work, and that would also allow me to work with up to 20 threads as well. Now the only issue about this, guys, is because with our groups we can have up to 4 accounts. The system is just going to clog up, and we really tried working with this, but the system clogs up when you've got manual captcha, or when you're looking for captchas and it's coded to do it manually, unless we have it sent over to a server such as death by captcha or deCAPTCHA, which then allow us to actually work with the system as we want to be working with it. So again, guys, just to recap on the changes, we've got customize account. You can choose and select whichever ones you want. You can also update your queue settings now. You can also Okay, we've already said you can update your queue settings. You can go to image videos and you can assign tags and images and URLs and whatnot to these. And it's very simple for you to actually get this done now. And other than that, guys, we've made a number of enhancements to the system and the way it's been working and uploading based on some feedback that we've actually received as well. We've made some changes to the custom theme upload as well, because sometimes the theme wasn't getting uploaded properly, and we're hoping that this update does actually make it much easier to actually work with the system now. Thanks a lot, guys, and if you have any questions, then feel free to make us aware and we will see what we can do. Thanks a lot and see you soon.